Hello my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. So we are back with the Beryl, and we're going to talk about some more of those upgrades from their upgrade programs. Hello my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. So today we are back with the Beryl. You may have noticed this clear green mag. This is an FB Radom mag. This is a stock factory Beryl mag. And these originally came in black. So you'll see it looks like a lot like a Bulgarian. They just came in black. So one of the upgrades they experimented with in the 90s was making translucent magazines. These are prototype magazines, and you can see one of the problems here. So if you look very closely, you can see some cracking going on right here, right at the tabs. And I have two of these prototype mags, and it is true of both of them. You can see cracking right on the tabs. That's a problem, obviously, and they experimented with some polymers and ended up with this green mag. So these green mags, they are pretty quality. Some people do report some feeding issues with the last couple rounds, but generally you throw some brass in there, maybe some 62 grain, you're not going to have that problem. But you know us AK people, a lot of us shoot some cheap ass steel, and do not worry, these eat steel just fine. The mags take steel just fine. It's just, you know, some people do report having some problems with the last few rounds of their magazines. And interestingly enough, this is also true of WBP mags. Sometimes you find the last few rounds, they won't cycle, and you have to go bolt action with your AK. So you can see this guy is bone stock with this lovely, almost gray furniture. But you know how we do it on this channel. I can't leave anything bone stock, so let's get to it. One thing to note about the Beryl is they do not use a standard AKM upper hand guard. You can see the difference up here. There is an adapter, however, to use a standard AKM upper hand guard, so it does not roll onto the gas tube. You can see this tab here, it just sits right in there. And you will also notice that lower handguard release is completely different. There's this tab right here at the front instead of on the inside. Pull that forward, then you can pull everything out. Much simpler. Well, wonderful. I have to stop. Tornado sirens are going off. Fucking Tornado Alley. Just turned out to be a test of the system, but 2 days in a row. Jeez, keep a guy on his toes. So take a look at the differences in the trigger. You can see where the fire selection would have been right here. Okay. Show you the hammer face up too. It's definitely a little different than your standard AK trigger. So real quick before I put the dust cover back on, I wanted to show you the dust cover tab on the back here. You can see this spring-loaded guy here. That is to prevent the dust cover from popping off when you fire rifle grenades. So this is the W96B configuration. You can see this handguard they made out of an original handguard. They just sanded down the side and bolted the weaver rail right on there. And that is just the standard old grip chopped off at the top and then bolted and glued into the bottom. This is the POPC1 rail. This is Weaver. EOTech is compatible with Weaver, so that's what's up with that. And that is FB Radham's cool grooved grip. Really the only thing I'm missing right now is a stock. I have this, but unfortunately this will not fit on the Beryl. Since you have this extended tab at the back here, its folding mechanism will not allow it to happen. So they do make a recreation of the original Beryl folding stock, so that may happen, but I got some sources for the original one, so we'll see what happens. But man, I'll tell you, when I removed this thing to fit this guy on here, it took some pounding. It took some pounding. I started with the mallet and it just wasn't working, and I ended up having to put a towel over it and just hammer it with a framing hammer. Parts fitment on these guys are tight. It's really nice. Well, usually the way it goes when I take a look at a rifle is I like to take a look at it in its stock form first, and then I'll take it to the range with some upgrades, and then I'll bring it back home, tweak it, bring it back to the range, and just try to get the rifle sped up a little bit from its stock form, and then I'll take it to a match and see how it does. Well, I already knew I was going to keep it like this, so I just went ahead and took it straight to Texas Kalashnikov since I couldn't really do a whole lot this weekend at the range. It was storming really bad this week, and really, I was only able to get a 30-yard zero because my range was a mud pit this week. It happens, oh well. So you can actually see this working to my advantage in some spots, but unfortunately this Texas Kalashnikov really was not the one for a height over bore problem. Take a look at this height over bore so you can see where the barrel is. That's my height over bore. About that. So usually a zero like that will work just fine, and you can see it actually did work just fine on the shoot house where we do have a target that's about 35 yards or something like that. Never actually measured, but it's somewhere around that distance, and that's about the distance I did zero at. So you could see it worked out just fine at that distance.
Shooter stand by. Over. I want a 357.
But unfortunately, we did some pool noodles and we did a golf ball this time, so you can really see the height over bore really fucking me.
Shooter, are you ready? Ready. Shooter stand by. It begins! I'm going for it. Get it down. Get it down. Get it!
That's all the ammo.
Oh man. Alright, let's put your dingling in. At least you had fun wasting ammo.
Right.
Man, you know that barrel's hot.
Yeah, don't touch that bitch.
Yeah.
Bro, that one ball.
Height over bore, baby.
Damn.
Unfortunately, there was one target I just was not able to get, and you could see me just, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this. I just couldn't find it, man. I just couldn't find it, so whatever. Ran out of ammo on the stage, and it happens, but he said it. Hide over bore, baby. Most of the stages went well. I did get mostly clean runs. I did have a couple FTNs, and you could see my shots came in real low. First stage that we did of the day was the shoot house, and all my shots were coming in real low. I had one FTN, even though they were pretty close up. And so that one actually went pretty okay, even though I got one FTN, but you know, that's it's a 10-second penalty, so you know, it didn't really help me. The rest of the day, I think I had clean runs except for the one pool noodle. So yeah, even the stages I did get clean runs, I still went up and took a look at my targets, and all my shots were coming in real low. It was only when I was like aiming it right at the top of the head that they were actually coming in like upper chest area, you know, kind of where you'd like to get them in that A zone.
Yep, load and make ready. Whenever you're ready. Take it out, pull it.
Oh, that's right.
Cool.
That was a, yeah, John, let's
go.
Where's my rifle?
Rifle? What rifle? You don't need no thinking rifle. That thing just...
Shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
Damn.
He should be empty. Range is clear!
I can't.
But the pool noodles are something I know you just got to watch your hide over bore and track it. And you know, it's my bane, it's my nightmare from Missouri. So I did do a little practice the day before, but honestly I didn't really have a problem with the hide over bore because my targets were pretty much Texas Kalashnikov close. And you know, that's kind of the way I practice when I'm going to Texas Kalashnikov. I practice like I'm going to Texas Kalashnikov. And you know, I knew there was going to be something like pool noodles or whatever because yeah, I saw the golf ball comments that Jim was making online, and yes, golf ball wasn't really too big of a deal. With the golf ball, took a tip from Jim and just measured the height over bore like that and clipped it like that so you could just aim at the clip, and you know, it does work like that.
Shooter, are you ready?
Ready.
Shooter, stand by.
You're in the deep hole. Like all kinds of different.
My 2 FTNs for the day did set me back. I got 26th for the day, so yeah, you know, not the greatest placement. You know, 20 seconds will set you back quite a bit, but hey, I still did pretty good overall. Rifle was running fantastic. Didn't have any feeding issues with any of the magazines. Really, I couldn't have had a better day because the targets on the shoot house actually had a face that you had to shoot into, so I actually did have some feedback that I was shooting low because I did get on paper, it was just below the zone that I actually had to hit. So I did get on paper, but I did have the data knowing that, yeah, I'm shooting a little low. So you could see me throughout the day creeping up, and by the last stage I found it just fine, but unfortunately it did screw me a couple times throughout the day. But having that data that I was shooting low, and that's all it was, I mean, I got it on paper, so I'm happy with that. It's just I had 20 seconds of penalties and yeah, knocked me back a little bit. Oh well. We'll do better next time. Just have to train with this rifle a little more. Might bring it out a few more times. It's not really a safe queen. I mean, I'm gonna die with this rifle for sure. Want to do something about this stock because right now I got it all taped up. I personally find these factory AKM stocks just a little slippery, so I like to put a little tape on there and, you know, give it a little grip if I don't have the pussy pad. That's actually why I like the pussy pad. It's just the grip thing, because when you do a reload you can just leave your rifle there because of the rubber. You don't have to kick it under. I got some real special content coming up. I am headed next week to California for Red Labor, so this should be very interesting. So I showed you the real nice Gucci fin grip that Kalashnikov made. Real nice plum. And I also got the California compliant 1030 mags, so I don't have to worry about the little shorty guys. And it's just a little rivet into the spring. Stops it at 10 rounds, so I can have a full 30 rounds. I am running 7.62 by 3.9 in the hopes that someone can let me borrow a Freedom Week mag, and I can at least get one mag with 30 rounds in there, but we will have to see. It'll be really fun, really challenging. Even if I don't have a 30 round mag, it's just going to add to the challenge, and it's just one of those things. You know, I'm originally from California, so I want to do an AK match in my home state, and it sucks that I have to have this, you know, stupid grip and this 1030 mag and everything, but, you know, law's the law, gotta follow the law.
Many, many boo-boo.
Hey, give me a break. I have an FFL application sitting here, so yeah, I have to follow the law. So guys, that is all I got for you this week. I'm going to be filming some other content while I'm in California. I'm working real hard on some future episodes. Trying to make something real entertaining, something real special for y'all. And yeah, that's all I got for you this week, guys. So, you know what I'd like to say? Stay safe, have fun, rock over London, rock on Chicago. Dr. Pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?